Hey guys, just looking at Acon, and I think the other two, NKTX and Spec. Obviously, you can see after history, it's a lot easier to see. I have other things that tell me. But basically, this is what, if you're going to look at a chart lately, I've been using a lot more support and resistance, a lot more lately. And then just looking for it to retrend up. Obviously, if you look at this, if I wanted to go for this whole move here, I could show you fibs on it and show you that it had still a decent trend because it bounced on this and then it bounced on this. But those are exactly where it bounced and also off of the support and resistance level. So I'm going to get rid of that one. So basically, I use what we all know we use for support and resistance, and sometimes it's just going to go from the bottom to the top. That's a pretty good trade. If you didn't want to take the dip trade, you eventually see this slanting. This is what I look for. And then a break over here. Now, obviously, we are all trying to jump in the trade a little too early sometimes. And you just let it play out. Hopefully, your stop loss is under this support area. And let it bounce. And this is where you see that wick went up and down and then rebroke here. You'll also see that. So that's kind of a little confluence for me. So this is a pretty easy trade to take in pre. And then this another one was, I think, a pretty easy one to see. What we do, Luke does this very well, is redrawing trend lines. Basically, when you have this, because usually sometimes it just keeps doing this and it starts just wedging down even more. Well, this one was basically went over resistance, really didn't like the support, and then it just broke. And eventually it just breaks out and does that. But the two things that you got to realize, even though we have the hat and this too, I think the biggest thing that really sinks in for me with Rob's teaching is that it just gained too much. I mean, we forget this was 290 earlier today and it's up at 6. I mean, that's a super high percentage. And when it fails here, even with the volume of the open, I mean, I don't know. So I just got this trade to here and this trade here to here. I did get this trade. I know that trade. So I took this little trade right here. I know that one. Otherwise, big sell-off, because it's a big sell-off from whoever ran this sucker up probably is laughing at people up here as it's just fading. So could be a pump and up chat spec. So here's spec at the open. I think everybody was talking about it's a lot choppy. You can kind of smooth it out a little bit. And a lot of wicks here. It doesn't mean it want to go up or down. So it was making some decisions. And basically I'm sitting here waiting for this maneuver, because this was support. Actually, I didn't mark it, but yeah, so it bounced here and then eventually it proved itself to go up. So I took that trade, and then this one, I got some of it, like right here. If you're going to take it, I would take it right here if it's restepping, and if it doesn't, it's just going to continue to fail off. I usually wait. The other thing is you're going to see the volume coming in, and then you start seeing the sell come in, or the lack of the same volume. And when the volume starts decreasing, even if it's sell or buying, it's going to be, not wonderful. So if you're going to take a trade, I'd take one here, right here. You're going to get a trade pop right here. I know that one all the time. It's also when they're all climbing down like this. It's like the last little ditch effort of this trade. And also everything else is coming down. So that's like one last little pop that's popping off VWAP. You can call it VWAP bounce as well. See the buyer's last ditch effort. The volume might not be that big to increase depending on that. We will see, but it's definitely on the radar for a lot of people now. So right here, the way I would have traded this, and I did some of this as I was just enjoying my morning, is when you see this stock run up and plateau. When it's plateauing, it's also just kind of building up. Look, zero volume. So, if you got here, it was just gold the whole way up. And then after a while, I mean, look at the volume. I think volume even is going out of the casing of where it can go. So it's up 1 million shares later in the morning. So that's a good one. So right here, I eventually see this little ascending wedge, and then eventually it breaks. And it breaks and it just climbs. So obviously that's the best trade. And if you miss that trade, that's what you should look at. You go, where did I miss it? This I missed this because there's no volume. And then it finally pops up on this list over here. So those were the two big trades I would have taken on that one. I traded some of this even at the end because I know how the volume was coming in, and I read tape over here. And again, if it's going to bust, it's going to bust a little bit right here or continue to fade. So, all right, so those are my little morning recappers. Just if you need any help, let us know. We help in the chat room all the time. So y'all have a great day.